the chief issues, the most important issues facing District 7?
Well, right now, you know, District 7 is extremely huge. I think it got one of the largest council districts of all council members. And you got the 4 East, you have the Buckner Terrace, you have the Fair Park, South Dallas area, and I have some part of Oak Cliff. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that each area have some project going on. Oak Cliff, for example, the Oak Cliff Magna Vista area, I'm trying to work with that community and see what type of project do they want. It's not, I don't want it to be me going in and saying this is what you need.
Right.
I want it to be the community saying, well, look, we don't really want anything. We want our neighborhood just to be left alone, quiet, secluded, and clean. And that's okay if that's what they want. Then the South Dallas Fair Park areas might say, okay, we need to deal with better code enforcement. We need to deal with demo and housing. And I know these are some of the things that we need to deal with in this area. Housing and making sure that our code is moving forward, and nuisance. And those are some of the concerns I have in this area. Working with Fair Park to make sure that the DART station is finished inside of Fair Park, finishing the Children's Aquarium at Fair Park, looking at what type of venue that we can bring inside Fair Park. So we're talking about 2010, making it a year-round amusement park. So looking at all those things to attract more people. My 4 East Dallas and Buckner Terrace areas, I'm excited about the new library that's coming into play. We're going to be looking at the rec center the end of this year, next year, trying to get all the pieces worked out on that. That's my focus, is making that happen, and hopefully knowing that we can finish the first phase of the library, getting it up and finished. Second half is working on the rec center. The other part is doing a land use study for Ferguson, looking at how do we really want that quarter to look. How do we go back and zone? How do we go? Do we go back and zone some things? What do we really, really want? And that's what I need the community to tell me. This is what we want. We want it to be retail. We want it to be retail mixed-use development. We want less density, or we want more density. So those are the things that I'm looking for that area to tell me long-term, because you only have a certain length of time to be on the council. So that's it. It's that the city has so many parts, and all of it needs money.
Yeah.
And it's not enough money.
Right. Even worse lately.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, we have a couple of staffers who live in the Ferguson Road area, and they wanted me to address the crime issue that's out there. Is there some specific initiative you have in mind?
Well, crime is down 18% throughout the city of Dallas. Crime is down in District 7, 36%.
My goodness.
Yeah, and I have the stacks up, and I can bring them in here so when people come in, they can see the stacks. This is something that we get every month from the police department, and these stacks are done monthly. This is not a 6-month stack or a year stack. This is once a month. But nuisance is where people are hanging out, and for whatever reason. But the crime is down. But one of the things I think will work, and we just got to let it work itself out, is Councilmember Cadane and I pulled together, and we have a community prosecutor in that area. He's extremely good, and I'm telling people, just get with him, let it work itself out, and once he get into the area good, get to know who the players are, then I think we will see a difference in that area. So far, he has started working with some of the motels in the area. We put a couple of those motels on the police, what they call, quote-unquote, problem multifamily units. And the one on John West, I can't think of the name of it, It's on the sheet, and everyone, we mentioned the name the other night, everybody like, oh yeah,
Huh.
it is, that one is a problem.
Yeah.
And so the police is gonna try to zero in at, fix it, and then if it has bad management, then try to help the management, train the management that you can no longer tolerate just not checking the people that you move into these units. So what I'm going to continue to do is work with the police department. I'm asking more neighborhood associations to become VIPs. Join, be a VIP. Tour your neighborhood. Get involved in patrolling your neighborhood along with the Dallas Police Department.
Well, expanding our view to a citywide area, I see you've got the vote no to Proposition 1 signs in your headquarters here.
I support a convention center hotel. I think the Dallas need more revenues. When you go to other hotels that have convention centers, I went to the National League of Cities with my colleagues in Washington, and we was at the Marriott Convention Center. It was extremely nice. You have, say, 1,000 rooms, and this is all this hotel is going to have is 1,000 rooms. Said that the room costs you $199 a day, and you have 5,000 people. So you times 5,000 people at $199.
Sure. If
That's
it's fully booked up.
If it's fully booked.
Yeah.
And if it's 1,000 rooms, you know it's fully booked because everybody else can't stay there. They got to find other places or other hotels here in the city to stay.
Right.
So if you got 5,000 people, it's $199 a day. And give or take, most hotels are running, $149, $199. It just depends if you want the low end of a Marriott or the high end of a Marriott. But you times that by 5,000, say 1,000 people. You just do 1,000 people at $149. Yeah. That's a nice little chunk of money.
Right. I was an English major. I'll let you do the
Yeah. I mean, and that's a nice little piece of money. You're talking about every day.
Yeah.
Then let's look at the gift store. You got most convention center hotels have 3 or 4 restaurants. They have a bar. They have a gym where people can work out, or a fitness room where people can work out. Then they have the huge breakout rooms. So when you set the convention up, you have to pay for that convention room where you can display the product. So if you got 5,000 people at this one convention, even though 1,000 people staying at the hotel, you got 5,000 coming back into that convention. They're going to the gift store, so you need to add all of that up. So at the end of the day, you probably had 200 people who done went through that gift store. Then the eating in the dining, and people love to eat. You might have had a good 3,000 people going into all the restaurants. And so you add up that convention at the end of the week, it's a whole lot of money going back to the state of Texas.
Yeah, a lot of revenue.
And a lot of revenues. And guess what? The state of Texas keeps some of it, and some of it comes back into the city of Dallas.
Makes sense that way.
Yeah.
What public figures here in the city do you admire for the work that they're getting accomplished? And then
My colleagues, for one, are trying to do the very best that they can to make a difference in their community. They really are. We all have our different viewpoints, but from all of my colleagues, and I have to say this, being on the council, really trying to make a difference in their district.
do you think that the new DART stuff will have a positive effect?
I think so. I really do. I think it will. I think around the TODs, the transit-oriented development, I think people are like this building, for example. The owner of this building, I said, look, you got to get some tenant in here. You got to fix it up and get it going because you're too close to the bus station. This is prime property right now where you at. I mean, this is prime property. So he looked at it and he said, well, I think I need to do something with it. So I think it will happen. I think having a transit system around an area like this, I'm hoping that it can spruce up the boulevards.
Councilmember Davis, do you have any message you'd like to deliver to our readers? Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, it has been an exciting 2 years on the council. I've learned a lot, but I'm just so thankful that I had some city experience already. It hasn't been as bad for me, so I was able to maneuver. So I'm thankful for that. So I just think that it just pays to get involved in your city government, be a voice, and there's no bad or no good. You're just there trying to make a difference. So that's what I hope I've done in somebody's life. I know that I haven't touched all the lives, but I hope I have just touched a small portion of someone's life.